6'6" Trieger ripping it through and putting it on the deck for Westmore. I love the way she has developed. She came here as a European player, never playing with her back to the basket. Westmore told us his first recruiting trip to go watch her play, she went 5 for 6 from the three-point line. He walked out of the gym and said, sign her.
12.6 rebounds for her yesterday in their squeaker over Georgia Tech. They are hoping, too, that both Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers get it cooking early today. Their plus-minus yesterday, they were both negative numbers.
Sanaya Rivers battling flu-like symptoms, did get an IV after the game, playing 33 minutes yesterday. And I spoke to her before the game. She said she feels 100% better.
Here's Renaya Kelly, who had a couple of clutch shots late in the game yesterday to help them advance. Donarski's first three ball is off the mark. Brooks.
Yeah, see, that's 1-on-4. That's probably not a good decision.
And that leads to Kelly with the sprint out and a little too much mustard on the pass for Navarre. Trieger will put up the three, and the big girl knocks it down.
Are you kidding me? Isaiah James almost winks at her before she passes her the basketball.
29% on the season, but her confidence hasn't waned outside.
That's where the game is right now on the women's side. I love a 6'6" knocking down triples.
Here comes Rivers. They all have the ability to rebound and then run it out themselves.
I thought NC State was really slow out of the gate yesterday, and a lot of that had to do with Georgia Tech. But today, they look like they got their engine revving a little bit earlier.
They're going to need it. Their worst scoring quarter and their worst scoring halves of the season were in that Carolina game during the regular season.
How about your 6'6" running the wing, not the middle of the floor? And then Isaiah James with the confidence to give it up right here.
Can we say James knew where the shooter was in the trail?
Absolutely knew where the shooter was. That's what I call 3 W's, right? Who to get the ball to, when, and where. You got to know personnel.
This time it's the pick and the roll and the assist. James to Trieger.
This is setting up to be a great game because Usby hit a 3 and Trieger's hit a 3, and now Trieger's on a screen and roll to the rim, and the guards haven't even gotten started yet.
And is that an offensive foul on Usby? Whoa, that is her second.
Mark it down, 5:07 in the first quarter.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a tough one right there. Got to adjust to the whistle.
She will stay in the game right now with 2 fouls. Madison Hayes will attack her, can't hit the free throw.
I love the call by Westmore. What a good job of going right at her while she's in the game.
8-5 State early. North Carolina hosting in the NCAA tournament. Taylor Tannenbaum has more on her after we...
Alyssa, she didn't get to play on her senior day last week at Carmichael because of injury. Courtney Banghart admits she actually thought about starting Usby despite not being cleared to play because she wanted her star player to get that ovation she so deserves. That didn't happen, so Coach was hoping this team would keep winning, lock up home court for the postseason, get Alyssa that moment back, and guys, it's looking like the Heels are going to do just that.
Well, and the Heels have adjusted. They showed man, they switched to zone, and they're trying to protect Usby with those 2 fouls.
Sanaya Rivers tries to shoot over the top of it. James with an offensive rebound. Yeah, Alyssa has meant so much to this Carolina program over the course of the last 5 seasons. The grad student out of Rochester, Minnesota. One of their all-time leading rebounders, number 2 presently. She's got over 1,500 points as well as James hits the deck and stays down in the lane. And now a whistle to stop play. The athletic trainer and Wes Moore immediately out to check on Azion. Wes Moore's wondering if there was not a whistle.
No, there's not a whistle. Called. There's no whistle. So if the officials decide to go look at it, the only thing they can do is upgrade it to an intentional foul. Let's see what happens right there. There's the push through the screen. That's involving Gakdang.
She grabbed the side of her face.
Looks like maybe her shoulder.
Was it a shoulder into her cheekbone? And she is holding her head as they help her over to the bench. Number 10 in white, right there in the middle of the lane. So James out for the moment.
How about Courtney Banghart trusting Alyssa Usby with those 2 fouls?
Zan Jones, who just replaced Isaiah James, hits the 3.
Well, you got to know where the three-point shooters are on both sides. And Donarski's the best three-point shooter for North Carolina, number 20 in blue with the ball.
One of the top active three-point shooters in the country over the course of her career. Trieger rebounds the Grant miss. Grant and Townsend now both on the floor for Carolina.
Jones and Hayes, the 2 best three-point shooters. North Carolina back in their man-to-man. You got to look to attack Usby.
Rivers. Shot clock winding down. Hayes will come to set the screen. And now they're in big trouble. And a turnover.
Well, Hayes picks up, or excuse me, Rivers picks up her dribble. This right here is Zam Jones knocking down the 3. Big bucket for the freshman without a sweat.
And James, they immediately covered her head with the towel as well. And now they will take her back to the locker room.
Remember, she took a shot in the Notre Dame game at NC State, came back with a Band-Aid on her face.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Townsend setting the screen. So the Carolina drought is now over 5 minutes as NC State has rattled off 11 in a row. And just as significant, if not more so, is James heading back to the locker room. Usby has now checked out, so both sides down their best player.
Play through the nail right here. Trieger face up. You got to get some cuts through the lane. You got to get a piece of the paint against this defense.
Hayes will try for 3 and hit it. Assisted by Jones. 14-0 run.
North Carolina needs to look to Gakdang right here. They need to get a ball inside. Let her post up and go to work against the freshman.
Grant, and she took an extra step. A lot of 1v1 right now from Carolina.
Well, NC State doing a good job of getting the ball inside to the nail, then going, reversing, attacking in the gaps, making one more to get numbers on the one side of the zone. You want a 2-on-1 if you can, and they got that.
They've assisted on 4 of their 5 baskets, and Rivers doesn't get it to go. Donarski.
They love to set that screen in transition for Donarski. Good job scouting to get that stop.
The 7th turnover in 9 minutes here for North Carolina. Brooks backs up Donarski.
Too quick, no one going to the glass.
Tar Heels just 2 buckets. And they've only gotten up 9 shots because of the turnovers. That's the first foul on Trieger. Blanca Thomas, the 6'5 freshman out of Charlotte, comes on. And so does Jordan Zubich, a 5'11 freshman. So Bangert going deep down the bench here in the first quarter.
Zubich averages 6 minutes a game. She did get a couple of minutes a run yesterday.
Lorena Awu at 6'5", another freshman, comes on to counter for NC State. Triana Crisp with the spin in the lane. Tough shot.
Really interesting lineup on the floor right now for Coach Banghart.
Donarski and Usby both out.
Interesting.
1 minute to go.
Yeah, interesting, because I don't know where their offense is going to come from.
Hayes into the lane to the left hand, and that rattles in.
That is a determined, tough two by a graduate student for NC State, Madison Hayes.
She's got 5, Trieger with 8 to lead the way for NC State here in the first.
There's a chance for NC State defensively to really separate with this group on the floor for North Carolina.
Navarre. Crisp. Shot clock's an issue. Gets by Zam Jones, but misses the layup. One shot possible here for NC State, as they hold Carolina to 2 baskets in this first quarter.
And one was a 3 by Usby.
Jones into the lane, pulls up over the big and won't get it to go. 16-5. Half minutes. Usby played 6 minutes and 57 seconds after the 2 quick fouls.
Well, I trust her, and that's why Courtney Banghart, after picking up second foul with 8:07 to play, she left her in. Or excuse me, 5:07 to play, she left her in the game. I think this is a better lineup on the floor for North Carolina offensively than what we just saw at the end of the quarter.
The other news of that first quarter, an injury to Isaiah James, the top player for NC State, had to go back to the locker room and has not returned. Now she is back out on the NC State bench as we start this second quarter.
It's going to take a lot to keep her out. NC State icing ball screens, trying to keep the ball on one side of the floor. North Carolina does something similar with their ball screen coverage.
Our first semifinal of the day, the winner advancing to the championship. The second semifinal, Notre Dame and Duke coming up next. Rivers to beat the shot clock, settled for the 3.
Not very organized on that possession.
Navarre, and the drought continues a minute into this second quarter for Carolina.
So North Carolina scored their 2 baskets by playing through the post. They threw it into the block, they scored inside, and they kicked it out for a 3. They have yet to continue doing that. They've settled for a lot of perimeter shots. Westmore wants the switch because he wants to get Usby guarding a guard, and NC State twice has not handled it well.
Navarre will take it herself, missed it. Carolina does choose to start Blanca Thomas inside, but Gakdang getting set to check in. A woo through Donarski. And it's now 18 in a row.
If I was Donarski, I wouldn't take that charge either.
Kelly behind the screen.
Yeah, all perimeter shots for the Tar Heels right now. And NC State's not giving up any offensive rebounds. North Carolina only has 1 offensive rebound, and they've missed 13 shots.
Playing in their 3rd day in a row, and they are struggling to find the bottom of the net. Jones takes it right at Usby.
Lorena Owu getting some early minutes in the first half as Isaiah James returning to the lineup. This is again Sanaya Rivers delivering it to the big girl who gets it on the deck before she travels. Good body control by the big 6'5" freshman.
James returns. Let's see if they get her involved right away. She'll take it and hit it. Nice comeback, Isaiah James.
Does she even have a sweat? I mean, she's not even on the floor 5 seconds and scores.
Gakdang knocked loose. Usby out to Grant. And finally, the drought ends after missing 12 shots in a row over the last 10 minutes. The Tar Heels add to the tally.
Look for Madison Hayes coming off a flare screen here. She's got the Usby matchup.
James fouled by Donarski.
Watch the work right here. Isaiah James moving without the basketball. Laney Grant gets all twisted up, not knowing where James is. And then it's just a good Loose ball play right here into the corner for Grant.
James hits on the front end, hoping to have a similar postseason run to what she had last year. Only Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers had a better postseason than Isaiah James did in the NCAA tournament.
She averaged 23 points in the tournament and shot better than 50% from the three-point line. Helped NC State to the Final Four.
Dang! Immediately going to work on Trieger.
That's where I would go if I was North Carolina. I'd throw the ball in there and let her go to work. She's become a better passer as well if they bring a double.
James off the ball fake. And on the weak side, knocked out of bounds.
Watch Gokdang get great position off the Donarski screen. Just a little screen across the lane and one-on-one. Gokdang with the offhand scores on the block.
She had 7 points yesterday and a career-high 16 rebounds in the win over Florida State. They opened up the tournament by beating Boston College. Grant short on the shot. Brooks running with Jones. And the step through for the layup.
Now, in the open floor, the NC State guards are too quick and too crafty at finishing inside. That's what happens when they rebound.
Donarski will take the deep three. And now it's James' turn to run with it. Looking for a shooter, they'll find one. Brooks. Jones misses the shot. Westmore was trying to get him to bring the ball to the left side to get James a touch. And now Grant transition three. Scrap for the rebound. State comes out with it.
Look how high Isaiah James went to get that ball.
Brooks behind the back. Now it's Renaya Kelly. Stepping through, going to the right.
Oh, good box out by Rivers.
Brooks. Oh, neither side can knock it down right now. Back and forth we go. Kelly going to get called for the push-off. Brooks got a hand in to jar the ball loose. And then Renaya leaned into her.
This is just a good job of moving your feet right here. Brooks gets a little tap, and then you see the push-off right there by Kelly. That's a good one-on-one matchup right there in the middle third. Yeah, North Carolina definitely doesn't have a rhythm about their offense right now. And they have been playing their best basketball yesterday. I thought with them getting Usby and Kelly back, they were whole and healthy and played really well.
Rivers spinning inside. Sanaya Rivers.
You got to attack Usby off the bounce. I think you keep putting her in multiple ball screen actions and try to pick up a third.
Gokdang fouled by Trieger.
Banghart's here trying to win her 4th game in 6 years in this ACC tournament.
It has been a dominant performance so far for the Wolfpack. North Carolina has 4 baskets, 5 fouls, and 8 turnovers. A big part of their story, and NC State, their usual balanced attack so far in this first half.
Look, Usby on Rivers, and Westmore goes clear it out. Sanaya Rivers, this is the unscripted offense that we started the game with. That's what I'm talking about. Break it off, recognize matchups. Usby can't afford to pick up a third going into the halftime.
Attack the player in foul trouble. Gokdang trying to go to work in the lane. Rivers helping out, got a block. Donarski in the chaos, open for a three.
What a heads-up play by Grace Townsend. Knowing that Donarski spotted up, and she is an excellent catch and shoot.
And West says, let's run it back with Rivers against Usby. Settled for the jumper. Gakdang. There's their mismatch on
That's
a
where I would
woo
go.
and a foul as we check in with Taylor Tannenbaum.
Last time out, a lot of listening inside their huddle, nodding heads to head coach Courtney Banghart. Part of coach's message, if you see something, take something and shoot something. Catch your breath. Let's go play how we play. And Lexi Donarski added, we've got to fight. Nothing's gone just yet.
Well, you got to dig deep. You heard Courtney tell Taylor at the end of the first quarter that she was noticing some fatigue in her team. 3 games in 3 days at this level in this tournament is not easy. Playing the 1 seed is not easy, especially when NC State has revenge on their mind from that 1-point loss in the regular season to North Carolina.
The adrenaline's been running high all day in anticipation of this game. And now this time it's James working on Usby and stepped on the end line. So Usby wins the last 2 battles.
You know what, Beth? The other thing I'm going to say about why Courtney Banghart trusts Alyssa Usby is because she only played 2 minutes and 35 seconds the first time these two teams met. She got injured, she left the game, and North Carolina still won it.
Yep.
So you're going to ride with your best players right now because you have faith in your team that even if Usby does foul out, you think you can still win the game.
Boy, they are working to make sure Gakdang gets a touch every trip down, and now they're going to have to make something out of nothing. Townsend on the drive, and one!
You have to guard the ball and keep North Carolina in front. This is just a great job of Grace Townsend attacking the top foot of Zam Jones. Gets right by to the rim. When you're late, if you're going to commit that foul, you better hammer them so they don't get it up on the glass.
Townsend, a 3-year starter, over 100 games played at Richmond, and then transferring into Carolina to play in an environment like this one. 7 in a row scored by the Tar Heels.
NC State's focus can't solely be on just trying to take advantage of Usby. There's a nice backdoor cut.
Brooks may have gotten away with some steps. Hits the layup. Good find by James. And another North Carolina turnover, their 9th. It's led to 11 NC State points. Final 2 minutes of this first half. Rivers repositions. And that's going to be a foul on a Wu. And she goes down hurt.
Zoe Brooks on a backdoor. Watch these two players that are at the midline, and here's Brooks, and as soon as the ball goes back over to the strong side, she comes right back door and does a nice job of collecting her balance, reading the defense. As soon as they turned their head and looked at the ball, she cut to the basket. And that's a scoring cut.
On replay, she did hold that pivot foot down. North Carolina just trying to chip away, get something going. Something positive into the second half, and that's the second foul on Zam Jones. And Townsend goes back to the line. Oh no, they're going to give it to Awu, and that is her 3rd.
Back at the Wolfpack now, number 21, Madison Hayes.
It's interesting how sometimes NC State goes away from Isaiah James, right? I mean, there are times when Isaiah, who averages 18 points a game, who's a first-team, back-to-back ACC first-teamer, who is an All-American. I've got her on my top 10.
Hey, a great slate of men's college basketball coming your way today. How about the Sonic blockbusters with Bama, Auburn, and Duke, Carolina? Got Arizona, Kansas in the middle of our basketball sandwich coming up today on ESPN. Just down the road a pace, Cooper Flagg and the Blue Devils will be at the Smith Center for that one. Still to be decided how the men's bracket will play out once their regular season ends. Rivers, they'll try the same play. James missed the first one and the second one. 3rd chance, and that that one will come up short, but a foul.
Good extra effort on the boards by NC State. They have done a nice job of crashing the glass. They're getting points in the paint. They're going at the rim. And North Carolina has cut it to 10 now. I mean,
James at the line. Just a 58% free throw shooter. Don't forget, coming up, the halftime report with the studio crew joining us from courtside. Ladies are getting ready. Coach getting the scarf done. Lot of head-to-toe denim for you coming up at halftime. Looks like Carolina denim for the former champ and tourney MVP.
Three-time MVP. 3 titles for Ivory Latta.
Final minute of this first half. Donarski. And count that basket, and she'll head to the line.
That's the way you want to guard Donarski. You want to make her put it on the deck. She's too good, catch and shoot. NC State's got to do a better job of guarding North Carolina off the bounce right now. North Carolina mounting up some fouls against the Wolfpack.
Heels now 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And they've got this thing back into single digits. Down by as many as 17 in this first half. Rivers. That one won't fall. Grant Usby on the run, doesn't have numbers. Could hold for close to the final shot here, about a 2-second differential. This is big for North Carolina. Surviving the first big punch. Townsend on the drive. She has been clutch here in the final 2 minutes. Brooks, they don't get a shot up.
Zoe Brooks had no idea about time. And like the Tar Heels playing through the inside, and I like NC State going inside as well.
And that is who's powering forward, presented by Nissan. Third quarter underway. The winner is into the championship against the winner of our second semifinal, Notre Dame and Duke. That's coming up next. Yeah, and that's going to be a foul on India Navarre, and let's send it over to Taylor Tannenbaum.
When I caught up with Carolina head coach Courtney Banghart coming out of the locker room, she laughed when I asked her what changed to only be down 7 points at halftime. She said, we finally just settled in. We just couldn't buy a bucket. The good news is, she said, we haven't even given it our best yet. She also noted their graduate transfer, Grace Townsend, 7 points off the bench. She said, how about little Mighty Mouse? We're going to need more from her in the second half, guys.
You know what, Taylor? While Renaya Kelly was out, Grace Townsend played on the top of the floor at the point guard position and did an excellent job. This is a player that has a lot of experience. She's a former A-10 first teamer at Richmond and has NCAA tournament experience as well.
Yeah, she came here knowing a role. Actually started early in the year when India Navarre was out, and then the late starts when Kelly was out. But anxious to be a part of an ACC championship team.
The game is really slowed down. I thought NC State at times got too preoccupied trying to pick up a third foul on Usby when they need to move the ball and get it below the free throw line.
Usby 3 points and 3 rebounds. She ended up playing 18 minutes and stayed foul free. Brooks got up in the air, ball knocked loose by Navarre, and Carolina's got it.
North Carolina is in the gaps, and that's a foul on Kelly.
It's going to be an offensive foul called on Kelly, her second.
I don't know, there wasn't enough there to me. It depends on what angle you had, and the official had the same angle we had.
Especially when the ball gets knocked backwards like that, kind of no harm, no foul. James, and now draws the foul on the shot, and that's going to be on Lexi Donarski, and that'll be her second.
No, NC State is not a high assist team. They don't turn it over much. but sometimes they dribble into traffic. And because their guards are so good unscripted breaking it off, North Carolina is doing a really good job loading to the ball in the gaps, trying to show numbers to the NC State guards.
Isaiah James at the line. She's only got 1 field goal, but now 5 for 5 at the line.
Oh, you know she's a bucket getter, right? At any time. Like, I think NC State needs to give her option number 1 right here. Plan A is Isaiah James.
See if Usby and Kelly can get it cranked up in this second half the way they did yesterday in the Florida State win. Hayes run out for James. She'll pull up.
I don't know why she didn't take that to the rim.
Now 1 for 7 from the floor. Usby backing in on Hayes, and that won't go.
North Carolina not giving up anything in transition either right now. Doing a really good job of getting back.
There's Isaiah James knocking it down. Isaiah playing in her 126th consecutive game here at NC State. This terrific rivalry, its 122nd meeting, the 15th time these two have played in the ACC tournament. They are all even at 7 wins apiece. But it's only the second time in 18 years that they are facing each other here in Greensboro. Usby in the lane. Dang, able to clean it up.
North Carolina is so good at attacking the offensive glass, especially when NC State is in their switching defense. They're getting some matchups that they can get to the glass on.
Nice backdoor Hayes. Usby is able to scramble and get back, stays upright. Trigger offensive rebound and a takeaway. And a turnover back to NC State. Well, for these two storied programs, there you see the numbers. NC State won the first 3 semifinal matchups. Carolina has won the last 4. Offensive foul called on Trigger. That 84 championship. Ooh, that's a thorn in Debbie's side. Debbie played for NC State, but she helped the Tar Heels win that year.
We played in 3 title games and only won 1. We lost to North Carolina. My nemesis Pam Leake and Teresa Brown.
Those two
players that have their jerseys hanging in the rafters at North Carolina.
Carolina with 9 championships. Duke has 8, and then NC State with 7. Notre Dame with 6 titles. All of those coming in the last decade.
NC State doing a good job guarding that hammer action, and then North Carolina gets the ISO with Gok Dang. So all that interference on the other side, or that misdirection stuff Courtney Banghart is running, is working.
James!
1-on-3, Beth.
It's a mismatch for Zaza. NC State getting that offensive rhythm back here in the third. Usby. They will not allow Donarski any room to move. 1 for 3 from downtown so far. Hayes hits the triple.
A nice transition 3 in the slot. Good ball movement by NC State. North Carolina needs to counter right here and score.
Navarre spins into a double team.
Watch Isaiah James. There are 3 Tar Heels back. It doesn't matter. She can get to the nail. Money. Madison Hayes, the extra pass. Good job reversing the ball on the top of the floor by Trigger to an open shooter.
It's a 9-2 run out of the locker room for State. Donarski, that's how Carolina gets her open looks on the out of bounds.
I mean, they feature her 80% of the time on their baseline out of bounds plays. You have to know that. You got to find her.
Coming up to the midway point, a woo. And a foul on Gok Dang.
NC State doing a much better job in the second half, playing inside, below the free throw line, trying to get the ball to the block.
So Awu to the line, just a 32% free throw shooter. Hey, tomorrow is Championship Sunday, and the Nothing But Net crew will have you covered beginning at noon Eastern with a 1 hour pregame show on ACC Network following the championship game on ESPN, and our wrap-up show, Championship Sunday tomorrow, ACC, SEC, Big 12 finals all coming your way on ESPN. This is the first of our quadruple header from the ACC, SEC, and Renaya Kelly hits from mid-range, her first bucket.
Zoe Brooks with the ball right here, won the most improved player for the ACC, but I like Renaya Kelly as well. I think she has improved tremendously as the season has gone on. North Carolina's definitely found their point guard.
Jones, no look to Awu, and she blows the layup. Quick counter. Usby, and Awu runs into her. Looks like a solid 3 seed as all 3 triangle teams now are in line to host first and second round.
Mallory Collier in the game, the 3rd post player for Westmore. Another young, inexperienced player, a sophomore going against Gak Dang.
Awu checked out of the game with 4 fouls. Mallory Collier is in there. And that'll be the 2nd foul on Zoe Brooks.
Zoe Brooks got all ball on that, I thought, on the dig-in. The official on the baseline called that. I don't know if they were screened out or not.
It has been a grinded-out kind of game so far, and James fouled by Townsend. They'll say it was on the floor.
Watch the quick hands here, Beth. Donarski just shows the ball to Isaiah James, who almost picked it earlier. And then Townsend commits that foul on the floor to make Isaiah James earn it at the free throw line.
6 for 6 today at the stripe.
NC State in the bonus now, so they need to continue to stay aggressive off the bounce.
One seed trying to advance. The top seed in the ACC tournament has won 18 of the last 25 championships. It's been a good place to be as a top seed, but NC State struggled to survive yesterday. They're now trying to take care of business against their arch rivals.
Madison Hayes does not get enough credit for guarding out of position, undersized all season.
Grant.
That's offense-initiated contact. Good job by the officials to let that go.
James will try for 3.
It just doesn't feel like it's a rhythm 3.
No. She's 3 for 10 now.
It's not in transition and you hesitate. It needs to go below the free throw line, then back out to the 3-point line.
Townsend, with the defense sagging way off of her, will take the ill-advised shot. Just a 21% shooter out there.
Well, there's a reason why you're open,
yes.
Knowing the scout.
Rivers dumps it off for Collier, and another missed layup inside. Townsend drives, dishes. Donarski can't hit it. Usby able to tap it to a teammate. Donarski in the chaos again, and rattles it around and out.
The foul's going to be on Usby.
That'll be her 3rd.
Watch Madison Hayes again. Undersized, gets, that's a dangerous play. Like, that is a clamping or a hook and hold on the men's side. Usually they look at that.
Usby checks back out with 2:38 to go here in the 3rd, and Hayes to the line. State now 12 of 13 with the freebies.
Hayes 2 for 2 from the line.
2 teams trying to knock out their neighbors. and play for an ACC championship. It's been NC State pretty much from the opening tip. And Crisp hits for 3 as they try and work this back into single digits. Been down by as many as 17 this afternoon.
Both teams looked fatigued to me. There's a lot of standing going on, not sprinting into their screening action, not sprinting hard into cuts. Having to do so much off the bounce, one-on-one.
James, pretty spin, floats it up and in.
That's absolutely gorgeous.
WNBA stock continues to rise. Rivers defending Grant. Gakdang buries the defender inside.
Crisp, a 25% three-point shooter, so you make her hit some before you adjust. And then Isaiah James, one-on-one, forget about it. So talented in the middle third.
And now that is the 4th foul on Trieger. So 2 of the 3 bigs in big trouble, and that means Collier has to come back. Gakdang. .65% on the season.
She's going to have to dig deep right here because Gakdang has been their best offense all game. Her posting up has created some space for North Carolina. And you know fatigue is setting in.
Maria now with 10 points, 7 rebounds. Here in this third quarter, James almost outscoring Carolina. Hayes. Collier with the offensive rebound. And 1!
There is a lot of red in the building. And you're starting to hear them. Look at Collier, gets great interior position right here and just muscles her way to the rim. I'll tell you what, that was the question mark all season about the interior play for NC State, and Wes Moore has worked hard with his staff to get all 3 of those young players ready to go. It's part of the reason why he is a 4-time ACC Coach of the Year. Look at Collier going to work.
Third stringer saying, give me some minutes, coach. And as Rivers puts the crown on her head. Possession arrow keeps it at this end. And a chance for NC State to pull away a bit further before the 4th. Collier wants it. And can't complete it. Donarski, transition 3, way short.
That's the legs.
I don't think she's come out of the game today.
She's one of their better defenders, and she's certainly their best offensive threat outside the arc.
Rivers will keep and hit. Final 30 seconds of this third quarter. Gotta hurry. Crisp in time. Air ball. They might check there. Wes wants them to check. Is there more time on the clock? And they will not look. So 2.5 for State.
2 dribbles. Make NC State come back to the basketball.
Oh, and they're not going to bother. 54-37, a big.
James is fun to watch.
17 points, 7 rebounds, a couple of assists. 10 minutes minutes away for the winner into the ACC championship game tomorrow. North Carolina seeking its first final in 11 years. NC State seeking its 5th final in the last 6 years. Highlighted by a Westmore three-peat not too long ago. Last year's champions, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, they got next against the 3-seed Duke Blue Devils.
10 seconds, did get the ball across. Turnover.
Well, North Carolina's really got to work now to make things happen quickly.
NC State needs to have more pressure on the ball. They're allowing North Carolina's perimeter to see right into the block, and Gokdang has been able to have their way.
It's going to be another foul on a post player. Collier, her first. The other two bigs already have 4.
You know what, Beth, I don't think Collier can get around Gokdang. She's going to have to play behind her, but you got to put more pressure on the passer.
Grant tries for the inbound 3. And now Isaiah James has it.
NC State doesn't want to take, the pedal off the gas right here. I think they want to stay aggressive.
Foot off the pedal.
Yeah. Pedal off the gas, foot off the gas. Yeah, you know what I mean.
James.
See, why
not a good look again there.
Why do you want to keep putting pressure on your offense in a late clock? You're having your way with North Carolina, moving the ball, switching sides, getting a piece of the paint. Keep doing what you've done in the third quarter.
Usby. Will they look to her and Renaya Kelly here in the fourth? It has been quiet for both of those players. Kelly not even out there to start this quarter. Grant, the freshman, rejected and stuffed by Rivers. James tries to step through, contact, no, and muscles that one up off the window.
My goodness.
From the backside.
What a tough 2. Are you kidding me?
Biggest lead of the day for NC State. Usby. Spins to the left. Townsend in there to get the rebound, keep it alive, finds Usby in the lane, up and in.
Again, Grace Townsend sneaking in there, getting another play on the offensive glass. She's been fantastic all game.
That's Usby's first basket since the first 2 minutes of the ball game. Hayes back out to Rivers. Steps inside the line for 2.
NC State has not given Carolina any transition. Very few offensive rebounds.
Townsend, nope.
Not going to guard her out there. She's too tough off the bounce getting in the paint.
Seven minutes to go with the 1 seed in control. Trying to avenge a regular season loss to North Carolina, and Collier picks up her second.
This is just ridiculous. Trying to draw the foul. So good at using the glass.
Look at, she shows the muscles even before the ball's through the net. With the flex from Zaza, 19 points today.
We've seen some players in this league celebrate, and then get beat down the floor. You got to get up and get back and play some D.
Usby.
That's going to be on Collier.
Oh, that's her third now.
NC State foul number 42, Mallory Collier, third personal, third team.
Westmore encouraging the boos. Carolina's had some success on the inbounds.
Well, when Donarski's in a game.
Navarre knows, second chance, got it, and a foul.
Now that is a weight room bucket. Watch her shed the D and stay after it on the offensive glass. Right here, she just moves Zoe Brooks out of the way and then finishes. This has been North Carolina's really best offense, is their offensive rebounding. Right, because they haven't really been able to get anything going. And now they're going to pull some full court pressure right here and look to trap over midcourt.
Got to make something happen. They've shot just 27% from the floor today. Wes will call a timeout.
Yesterday, Westmore did not call a timeout when her team was under duress in that situation. Today he does.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Ally. To St. Joe's.
So there's 3 really good teams in the A-10. St. Joe's with a win over Richmond. George Mason still alive on the other side of the bracket. I think Richmond is probably going to be a tournament team.
Zoe Brooks at the shot clock buzzer. Things going NC State's way. And they're back up by 18. North Carolina got it down into single digits once late in the first half, but have been on the struggle bus throughout this second half.
So North Carolina keeping with the full court pressure, which I like. Even though your legs are tired, this is what you have to do, is try to get some turnovers, try to speed up the game.
Jones finds a woo.
It's a good job of NC State to attack that pressure.
Navarre, she'll drive it, and another.
She's scored her last
three-point play.
Her last 3 baskets have been by India Navarre. This is her second and 1 in this little mini run of hers. She's going off the bounce, aggressively attacking. Doing a nice job of drawing a foul and getting to the line, stopping the clock.
7 points, 3 rebounds.
That's 8 points in a row.
Won't press again. Looks like a 1-2-2. Easily handled by NC State. Jones, baseline drive, finds a shooter. Hayes opposite, way off. Navarre feeling it right now. Attacks the rim again.
10-0 run, India Navarre. And it allows North Carolina to set their pressure. Got to stay off the sidelines.
Brooks into goddamn offensive foul.
NC State got to do a really good job here of defending and rebounding, and you got to know where Grant is for a triple.
She has outscored NC State all on her own. Going to work again, lost the handle on the way up, and a foul called on James.
Good call from the bench by Courtney Banghart. Right now, India Navarre is a challenge for NC State to guard.
Get her the ball. And back to the free throw line for the North Carolina native who started out, played a year at Stanford before coming back home. At 27-6, this is Courtney Banghart's best season with the Tar Heels in her 6 years. They'll be hosting first and second round action. So will NC State, so will Duke in all likelihood.
Got to keep the ball off the sideline in the middle of the floor. Harder for North Carolina to trap. And fall back into their zone.
Zan Jones. And now Brooks. Turned back by Usby, under 10 on the shot clock. Jones turns it over. A chance for Carolina to get it into single digits. Townsend, no. Navarre rips it away and back to the line.
A one-person wrecking crew is India Navarre right now.
NC State foul for 3.
This is just a terrible pass right here by the freshman. And North Carolina doing a great job with numbers 2-on-1, and Navarre staying with the play.
Short. Down by as many as 19, trying to make this a 10-point game.
This is a game, Beth. We got 4 minutes to play. North Carolina's got some momentum right here.
Navarre has scored the last 13 points for Carolina. 4 minutes to go. And they're going to call Navarre for a foul on the inbound. And a Bronx cheer from the Rally faithful.
That's just the first team foul also. Got to stay aggressive. Isaiah James has to have the ball in her hands.
Brooks. Oh, she had a foot over the line.
One, you got to have three.
Gotta have all three. Yep. Brooks.
2 feet and the ball.
Stripped away, another takeaway, Navarre. Will go the distance and miss the layup. 2 chances go awry for the Tar Heels on back-to-back takeaways.
This is where Westmore should be at his best with his 4-guard lineup on the floor. And experienced guards in this situation in close games.
They've had 5 turnovers here in the 4th quarter. Brooks. That one won't go. Oh, whoa, with the offensive rebound. 3 minutes to play. Usby 15-footer, no.
Good recovery by Madison Hayes. Icing ball screens, and she gets back to recover to Usby to challenge that 15-footer.
NC State trying to close this one out. James. And that's a foul on Hayes.
Lorena Owu does a nice job of finding a lane to the offensive glass and then finishing with her offhand. Really nice job. 8 points off the bench.
The 3
for the
bigs,
freshman.
Debbie, 18 points today
Wow.
for NC State. Take a 30-second break and be right back. Appearance in 6 years as they are in the hunt for their 8th ACC title. It would be 4 in 6 years if they get to the championship tomorrow and win it. Winner of this one will face the winner of Notre Dame Duke. They are coming up next on ESPN2. And then later this afternoon and this evening, the 2 semifinals from the SEC featuring South Carolina and Texas as the top dogs down in Greenville. 2.5 to go. And it would appear that NC State has survived a scare. A couple of missed layups from Carolina that could have really tightened things up. Owu, 10 points for her today. Navarre, the blocking foul called.
Watch Owu dive for the basketball. Good hands, great finish. Ties her season high with 10.
Missed free throw from India. She's had a big 4th quarter.
She's got to be exhausted.
Yeah.
She's put the whole Carolina team on her back.
Short on both free throw attempts. And they're going to get a foul on Brooks on the rebound here.
There's nobody better in the free throw second spot than Alyssa Usby. She gets lower than everyone else, and she makes a play on missed free throws. And North Carolina is not a good free throw shooting team.
Injured player for NC State.
think the officials are going to take a look at this.
And Madison Hayes will get to her feet.
The previous play is under review for an unobserved intentional foul.
Officials will take a look to see what happened on the play. Right side of the screen is Hayes.
Here's Madison right here. I don't see anything there, honestly.
Looked like arms just trying to swat at the ball here. She was holding the back of her head, Madison Hayes was.
Well, Usby is aggressive on the free throw lane. There's no question about it. She's made several plays. Actually, she made winning plays at the end of the BC game to allow them to advance. Maybe an elbow right there by Usby. I don't think there's anything there, though. The officials should come away with nothing here.
Yeah, the follow-through may have just gotten her on the side.
There's nothing excessive or intentional there that would upgrade. There's no whistle on it anyway. Is there a whistle on it? Was there a foul call?
No, it was an unobserved.
Yeah, but I don't know if they had a whistle on it from the beginning.
No, the foul actually was on Zoe Brooks, her fourth, but it was not on the play involving Hayes. I believe it was on the box out of Grace Townsend. .204 to go in this one. NC State and North Carolina, followed by Duke, Notre Dame. And then later today, Debbie, South Carolina, Oklahoma, and LSU, Texas. We're also keeping an eye on the Big Ten semis. It's old school, new school, Michigan versus USC, and Ohio State versus UCLA. Big 12 semis, West Virginia, TCU, and Baylor, Oklahoma State. We'll have all three of those finals tomorrow. ACC, SEC, Big 12.
After review, no further penalties on the play. Contact is deemed incidental.
Yeah, it took them a little bit to get there, but that's the right call.
Yep.
I think Usby also got Townsend in the head as well. So, I mean, I'm glad the officials came away with nothing there because there was nothing extra to upgrade Usby on.
Hayes went back to the locker room just for a check. So Zan Jones comes back in, and it's Townsend at the line for a pair.
Got to be ready for full court pressure here.
She has earned the minutes from Courtney Bangert here in this fourth quarter. That's a couple. Back to an 11-point game.
You would think with 4 guards on the floor that NC State would never have trouble handling any full court pressure.
Under 2 minutes to go.
Well, you can't throw that lofty pass, though. That's one thing. And they're trying to dribble through it. And a good job by Navarre to get a hand on it.
And that'll go to Carolina. And here is another chance to get it under 10 points.
NC State has been bothered by the full court pressure. They've turned it over. 6 turnovers in the fourth quarter. And I think all of those since they put the press on.
Townsend for 3. Able to save it to Usby. Let's see if they can get a better shooter look. Here's one. Grant doesn't go. And a foul going for the rebound. That'll be a foul on Navarre. Chances have been there, Debbie. They've had 3 possessions to try and get it into single digits and couldn't find the bottom of the net. And NC State has allowed them to lurk and linger.
No lingering.
They're going to work the shot clock, which will also work that game clock. Get a good look from 3. And a foul on Gakdang trying to box out Wu.
Fouls on North Carolina, number 5, Maria Gakdang.
You know, North Carolina played so well against BC. And then avenged the loss against Florida State from the regular season.
What a hand for Wu.
Number 1, Maria Wu.
Her best showing of the season, and a good time for it here in the ACC semis.
1 minute remaining.
Final minute of our first semifinal. These two teams meeting for the 15th time in the ACC tournament. And now North Carolina State will have the upper hand, head-to-head, 8 wins to 7. And the storied histories of both these two programs. And the dream appears to be alive for a shot at an 8th ACC title, which would tie for second most with the Duke Blue Devils behind North Carolina. Rivers missed it. Usby has it. On the run, Navarre, no. And Bangert says don't foul. And the Wolfpack fans are up and at him. The number 1 seed advances. And they'll go for a 5th ACC championship. Their 5th final in 6 years. And they knock out North Carolina.